Hello, this is Maria from visasinportugal.com and I'm here on another video to approach all your questions, to go through all the comments that you send us through email, on the forums of the visasinportugal.com, everywhere. Okay, as you know, we have this channel, this YouTube channel, visasinportugal.com. We also have YouTube, and I go around all those platforms to gather your questions so we can do these videos on Mondays where I provide the answers to all your questions. So if this is information that you really like to receive, hit subscribe, say you love it, and we go from there. I got you. Okay, I have the list of all the questions and we go through them. So last week, we discussed citizenship in Portugal, what has changed, what has remained the same, and we also approach AIMA. What's with AIMA? What about all those delays? So if you haven't seen it, go back, go check those videos, and then check this one for the questions. So regarding citizenship, I said in that video that citizenship, if your father is Portuguese, your grandfather is Portuguese, or grandmother or mother, that everything stays the same. And if you have a child, you are foreign, but you've been living in Portugal for more than 5 years, your child will be Portuguese. About that citizenship, about those issues, I have some questions here. So it says, if my great-great-grandfather is Portuguese, but my grandfather is not, and my mother is not, can I apply? We have to check all those connections to you, and you have to explain the ties that you have to the country and why do you deserve to be Portuguese, okay? That's a route. The other question is, I've been in Portugal for 4 years and my child is going to be born in June. What can I do? Okay, now, as an attorney, I would say that you would try to register as a Portuguese and going through the principle that we have in Portugal that says that one should not be in prejudice if a law has changed. Your son or daughter should be Portuguese if in a couple of days you would. You know what I mean? So I would apply. How can I do that, you ask? Well, when you go to a Portuguese hospital, you will have a member of the IRN. The IRN is where you register as a Portuguese. They will be there for the child to do their citizen ID card. So you do that there. If you go to a private hospital and they don't have that service, after you leave the hospital, you can go to any IRN. We call it Conservatório do Registro Civil. You go to any of those offices, agencies, and you can register there. Okay? Where can I apply my citizenship? Where can I submit my citizenship application? Well, again, you go to IRN, to the Conservatório do Registro Civil, and you can apply. You can do it online. You can go to Lojas do Cidadão and obtain more information, or you can go to visasinportugal.com and we can help you with that. Okay? Excellent. Now, regarding AIMA, the question is, what happened to CEF? That's a good question. Well, CEF was the former Portuguese Immigration and Border Service. And at a point, in 2023, I believe, there was a change to AIMA. The agency became the same, but became a gathering of all forces, the GNR, which is one of the police forces, PSP, and border inspectors. They all gather to build AIMA, okay, which is the Agency for Integration, Migration and Asylum. Why are the processing times and wait lists so long? Well, I've answered that question in the last video. There was a massive transition backlog. They had thousands, hundreds of thousands of licenses, registration applications for residency permits awaiting, and they have been able nowadays to register them all, to verify them all. Those are already done. So the times now, they are now doing the renovation for July and August. So they have been doing very well lately. How do I behave? How do I prepare for an in-person AIMA appointment? I would always advise for you to take The language, if you can take somebody with you that speaks Portuguese, they do speak English nowadays. It's easier to find someone that speaks English. But if not, you either take someone with you, or at least the point keys that you want to discuss, have them translated in a paper. You have them translated in this. What about this? What about that? And nowadays you can have an app on your phone that does the translation, so you can communicate like that. They use that a lot as well. I would advise you to go earlier so you don't miss your appointment. Check all the documentation if you have everything. And maybe if it's easier for you, the documentation that you need, you have it on the website. Maybe it's in Portuguese and you translate it to your birth language so you know what that document refers to. Okay? I also have here, can I renew my residency permit online? Yes, on the AIMA portal, online portal, you can submit your renewal. Can I leave Portugal while I'm waiting for a card renewal? Well, it can cause severe complications, not so much in Portugal, but in other countries. Imagine that when you leave, you have to do a scale in a different country. When you return, it might be difficult for you, okay? You need to secure a return visa or a border declaration that you can find on AIMA as well. And also when you renewal, you can print the certificate that says that you are waiting for the renewal, okay? What else? I have more questions here. What documents must I provide to prove accommodation? This one is a good one. So if you are renting an apartment, you are going to need Atestado de Residência, which is a residence certificate from Junta de Freguesia, from the municipality. You are going to need a statement from the landlord. If you are renting, you need a statement from the landlord that says, I hereby declare by my honor that this and that is living permanently in my apartment or house or bedroom, whatever, situated in this location, blah, 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 the location. And then you have to provide an ID document that proves that that property is from that person. We call it certidão predial. You can, if you take the certidão predial urbana in this case, which is a document from the tax office that proves that that property is from that person, registered. Remember, the statement from the landlord needs to be a certified signature. Okay, you prove all the links. You prove that he owns that house, and with the statement he proves that you are indeed living in that house, and then the certificate from the municipality as well. That should be enough, okay? And of course, the rental contract, the registry of the rental contract, and the receipt every month that you're paying your rent. This is important. How can I renew the CRUE? We haven't discussed that. We can do it in another video. What is the CRUE? The CRUE is a resident certificate for European Union members. So if you are from a country that's inside Europe and you move to another one, you say, oh, but I'm from European Union, I can move to any country. You can, but you need to register. You don't need to submit an application. You don't need to do that. You just need to register and say, hey, I'm an European citizen and I'm now living in Portugal for more than 3 months, 90 days. So how can you renew it? When you get a CRUE document, most of the municipalities all should be giving you a 5-year CRUE, 5-year resident certificate for European Union members. But I had some clients in Porto that they were only giving them a 6-month document and they had to renew every 6 months, which makes no sense. But if that's the case and you have a 5-year one, at the end of the 5-year, you can apply for permanent residency. Right? So where are you going to renew your CRUE? It's not going to be at the municipality where you did it. It's going to be within AIMA. You go to AIMA, to the portal, and you apply for permanent residency. Okay? We can help you with that as well at visasinportugal.com. How can I change the email address associated with my process? This is also a very good question. If you want to change your address, your email address, if you change your name because you got married or you got divorced, you can do all of that at the form that you have in the portal of AIMA. Okay? Can I request a residency permit to my minor child who is a resident or was born in Portugal? You can as well. You can do family reunion. If you are a mother or father of a Portuguese, you can do family reunion. If you are a mother or father of a child that has a residency permit in Portugal, you can do family reunion, and you just need to comply with all the requirements that you have within the AIMA portal. Okay? I think I've answered all your questions. If you have any doubts, let me know. Write them on the comments. If you have questions, if there's videos that you want me to do with questions that are very important for you, put them in the comments. If you want a more elaborate question, send us on visasinportugal.com and I'm here for you. Okay? Bye.